So I watched this video about how, basically what I said in another video, how they capitalize off of our traumatic experiences and they push it and push a narrative and kind of make you think that you're thinking that thought. And I think one of the best ways to kind of control a society is to really reprogram their mind and push out what you want them to push out. And one of the things that I see in the Black community is how like ununified that we are, and a lot of our, big leaders wanted that unity in us, and I have yet to see it in this generation, and maybe generations after me and everything like that, because of the collective consciousness that is coming up. Maybe I will start seeing it, or maybe generations after me will see it. But it was me realizing with the influx of like the new wave of everything that's going on. So it's like the more conscious we are becoming, the more that these like really harsh things that are like not for us is starting to be like pushed, like truly pushed. And when I get on social media and I see that like we have an influx of like women being the baby mamas but not being the wives, and then telling them, and this may trigger some people, but at the end of the day, it needs to be said, because I get tired of like having all these thoughts, but then like holding these thoughts in, because I've been like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want anybody to feel any type of way. But like, if it don't pertain to you, then it don't pertain to you. Don't make the shoe try to fit if it don't fit for you. If you're not Cinderella, it don't fit. So I see a lot of us trying to like basically do this thing where, because society won't change for us, or because it won't work in our favor, we try to loophole it and make it fit for us, and we try to make it work for us. And that's the thing with like what Black people have been doing over the years, since time after time and time after time after time again, we have been told to basically like accept what we're given, shut up about it, and do that. And we see that with like, we don't get, the rewards. We don't get any of the, I forgot the word that I'm looking for, but we don't get any of that. We don't get anything like, what? Nobody takes accountability for all the pain and the suffering that we have been through, and then be like, okay, well, let's actually do something. Let's actually heal. And we got this space where mental health became a thing, and we started talking about mental health and the Black struggles and everything that's going on like this. And mental health became a Black people thing now, but all it did was just bring our traumas to the light with still no escape. And because we had nowhere to put this trauma, because we had nowhere to actually like let it be released and actually heal, the powers that be capitalized off that. So since you have been, sexually assaulted, how about I capitalize that now? Because you are overly sexual, I'm going to just say that that's okay for you to be like that. And men want that, and you're owning your body by just freely giving yourself away and just freely doing these things, and that makes you that makes it okay. Like, you're good now, like everything's okay, because the men are gonna still flock to you. Yeah, they're not gonna marry you. They may even put a baby in you, but they may not stay with that baby, and it is still going to be very detrimental to you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, and financially. Babies are the most precious thing in this world, and we like to just throw them out there like and have babies with any and everybody who already didn't treat us good, already didn't care about us, didn't value us, and they showed that. And so in our minds, because we are so programmed to believe in this narrative that, what, they may treat us right. They may actually do right by us. So let me go ahead and let me have the baby. No, the commitment of marriage should be that. But because I will not get that, because that man obviously don't want to commit to me, and because I am so infatuated with him, because this is a form of love that I'm used to. I'm used to a love that's running away, either from our mothers, our fathers, or both. I'm used to a love that is neglectful, that is conditional. I'm used to that type of love. So let me go to this type of love that I have to do the exact same thing. But I know that he loves me because he's willing to put a baby in me. And you use that as validation. You use that as like, I got him though. And he always locked there with me because I'm the baby mama. Because you can't be the wife. Because these men aren't marrying anymore. A lot of them, there are plenty of men who are, and this is, once again, this is not a versus, this is not a dogging black men, because I am here to uplift, because we both need healing and we both need each other. Like, I wish we truly knew that, because we both need each other. Men and women need each other. There's literally a balance in the world, and we're creating such an imbalance in the world because we are so detached from each other. We are so not loving to one another. We are so like ready to like get down each other's throat and it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. But it's all of our faults. And yeah, so it's just like we settle for being the baby mama. We settle for like, you know what? He don't want to wait for, you know, us to actually get to know each other before he enters my sacredness. You know, and I don't want to, you know, truly get to know her. She don't need to truly get to know me before I go inserting my sacredness inside her sacredness and connecting and creating, you know, a bond, a link, you know, a tie. And we're just like, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to just go ahead and just do it because that's what I want. But when you have been hurt and damaged in your first forms of, you know, intimacy, have been distorted, have been in a way that showed you pain and suffering and abuse, you may not be the person who is kind of like, you know, I should be the person saying that like, it's okay to just be out here freely giving yourself, because you were taught that. You were taught to not value your sacredness. You were taught to value your womb because it was taken away. It was taken advantage of. And so now you take advantage of it and you allow other people to take advantage of it. And you don't heal it. You didn't go to try to heal that and understand that how sacred you are and it should not be shared with any and everybody, and how a baby should come into a world where it is loved fully and unconditionally. It should not be put into a world that is tainted with so much toxicity, because you're raising that baby in toxicity and it's going to just come down 10 times harder than your toxicity and what you had to deal with. And now your baby is being brought into a generation that is filled with so much, you know, negativity and toxicity. And it all stems from your ability to love yourself and to honor yourself. And that is why it's so important for us to do those things. But there is so much lack in the Black community, and everything that's being pushed is to get back at men and to take from men, or women ain't this and men ain't this, and, you know, don't love nobody and don't trust nobody. And then we feed off that and we say like, I don't trust nobody. That's why I don't trust nobody now. But you don't understand that the energy that you operate at is what you constantly keep manifesting in your life. So the reason that you don't trust anybody, because your ego sent you towards that thing, and the vibrations kept aligning you with things that made you not trust people. But had you looked at it from a different point of view and not reacted to that your situation, not acted, you know, out on that, and understand what God was sending that person to tell you, to let go of these limited beliefs, because people are trustworthy, because people are literally virgins of God. And, you know, it was just something that like deep inside of me, I was just watching that video and I was just like, I get so in a sense saddened when I see young women being virgins of me, who don't love themselves, who had these traumatic experiences that I also had, who are acting out, and who people are literally abusing them. Like, literally, because these men don't value them. These men who they are attracting, they don't value them because they themselves don't value them. And the same vice versa goes with men. And when I see men just like freely giving themselves away, and I'm like, that woman doesn't value you and everything, that you're going to get heartbroken and you're going to get hurt, and that's going to shut you down even more. But social media just gave us a space to like let it all out. But then it was like, all right. And now what we do is we use that as a scapegoat. We like, okay, well, that happened to me, so that's why I'm like this. Instead of being like, okay, well, that happened to me, and that was not okay for that to happen to me. Now, what can I do about that? Now, how can I change? Now, how can I go and still shed light? We sit in our darkness, and then we allow everything else to push that darkness and tell us that that's okay. It's okay to not trust people. It's okay to not be loving. It's okay to just sell yourself for sex and to be overly sexualized. And that is how women make money in this industry, is to sell sex. And I remember, I think it was like last year, I was watching the BET Awards, and I was like, it's crazy how they're trying to make every woman that got on that stage was like literally sexual. And I was like, that's crazy, because when I saw I forgot her name, but she's a rapper, and she's like more tomboyish, and I was like, it literally looked uncomfortable. And then like when she tried to do something sexual, she literally like laughed, and it was like, because that's not you. And they're pushing that, like they're pushing sex, like they're just pushing that type of image for us. And then our kids are, going through this, and they're pushing so much violence, so much hatred out here into the world, and we're just meant to be like, well, that's just is what it is. Like, no, we need to actually start healing. We need to actually start getting ourselves together. We need to actually start loving. And that is so difficult for people to be like, love. And then even when I tell people I love them, like, they get so uncomfortable with that. Like, don't say it because you don't mean it. And I'm like, you can't tell me what I mean. I'm a loving being, and I was sent here to love. So I'm going to be love. And I'm the epitome of God's love. And that's what I chose to be in this vessel. And I get so tired of the pain being capitalized off of. I get so tired of like seeing women like me, because the little parts of me, the little me hurts when I see that. I know that you're acting out because something happened to you. I know that, some abuse took place, for you, and you're acting out on that. And the little child in me hurts for her, because darn, that little child in you deserves to be loved. She deserves to honor her body and not call herself the B word, or be out here just degrading herself and just trying to get the validation from men and putting random injections into her body to be validated by men who won't value you regardless. And it's not to say that there aren't men who won't value you, but there are men who don't. There are men who would never make you a wife, who are sitting here playing with your time, who are sitting here, don't care about anything that you say, and you will sit here and you will give the world to, and they are like, I can leave you at a drop of a dime. And that is the same thing, it could be taken vice versa. But as women, and as like Black women and Black men, we need to like understand our power, and we need to get back to literally, like in the science term, homeostasis, but we need to get back to understanding who we truly are. We are divine. And from years and years and centuries ago, that right was taken away from us. That right of knowing our true divinity was taken away from us, of knowing who we truly are, and we devalued ourselves, and we allowed ourselves to just break down and to just be hush about it, and to just keep going and keep going. And no matter what breadcrumbs we were given, at least we were giving something, because there are a lot of other people who, out here, they don't got nothing. So it may feel good for that moment to be laid up with somebody who got somebody else, or who don't really want to take you serious, or who don't want to be with you for real, who don't want to make you their girlfriend, who don't trust you, who don't value you, who don't truly love you because they don't truly value or love themselves. It may feel good for that moment, but let's get honest. Like, okay, after all, we sit out here and we push the toxicity, and we said that the toxicity, the red flags look like Six Flags. It looked like fun. Now, after we got through to that, we laughed and we, it's fun. Now, let's talk about those lonely nights, though. Let's talk about those moments when you're so deeply depressed because of all the pain that you've ever experienced and it's coming back up to you. Let's talk about the reason why you're actually drinking, the reason why you're actually masking yourself with, these intimacies. Let's talk about the reason that you overeat, that you fill your body up with toxicity, that you keep going back to the validation of somebody who don't love you. Let's talk about the reason that you use drugs and you use partying and you do all of this stuff to mask the pain that you feel inside. Let's talk about the darkness that you feel, the emptiness that you feel. Let's really talk about this stuff, because there's the things that need to be talked about. Not how we sitting here like, oh yeah, it's fun, it's fun, it's fun. Let's talk about when it's not fun no more. Let's talk about when it really, really hurts, because I've been there and I've been in those moments where it's like, it ain't fun. And that's what made me heal, because I was like, yeah, that's fun for a few seconds. But when I'm by myself and I have to realize that I've been hurt numerous amount of times, and I've just been hurt over and over and over again, and that pain ain't good. It ain't good to be sitting here when there's nobody texting you, nobody here to validate you. You done got off social media and you got to sit there with your thoughts, and you got to sit there and own up to, I am sad because plenty of people have hurt me and I don't feel valued. I don't feel loved. I don't love myself. I don't honor myself. I don't think that I am deserving of this. I don't want to be there. Even moments when they're like, you don't even want to be here because you're so hurt. And you don't have anything to escape to, because the problem is, and the totality of it is, that you got to look in the mirror and you have to say that the problem is me. And what happens when you don't have nothing else around you to say, it's you. It's you. I don't got nothing else to avoid the things that come into my mind. I have to deal with it now, because the only thing that's right there is me. And I have to look at myself and be like, darn, I'm the issue. I'm the problem. Oh my gosh, like, this is something that I have to deal with. And it's just like, we have to stop trying to just promote the fun of toxicity. Like, would you open up a battery and eat it? Like, would you do that? Would you melt down a light bulb and like ingest it? Would you stick a fork into an outlet and sit there and just let yourself be electrocuted? Like, would you do that? That's the same type of toxicity that we're allowing with the music, with all of these things, and it's fun for the time being. But what happens when it's not fun no more? Let's talk about those moments, because we all have been there. But then we just use more and more of the toxic things, and we just, submerge ourselves into alcohol. We submerge ourselves into the parties, and we get angry, and now we're killing each other, and now we hate each other because we don't know how to deal with our emotions, because we sat there and we use alcohol and we use music that is low vibrational, and we use low vibrational foods, and we use low vibrational people and substances to promote more low vibrations. So now we don't even know how to control our emotions, that when we get angry, we just instantly go to kill each other. We just instantly go to fight each other. We just instantly go to just degrade and devour, and to literally send lives back to the maker, because we don't know how to just be like, I'm mad and my feelings was hurt that you called me out on an insecurity. What? That is what society has made us. It made us weak. This is not strong. This is weakness. This is darkness. We have become so weak due to the fact that we aren't able to express our emotions because we're so afraid of being exposed. The most powerful thing that I have come to realize is how loving that I am, that I could put my heart on the line over and over and over again. I may cry when that time comes if I get hurt, but the strongest thing, that I went out there and I gave my all. And that is a strong thing, to go out there with no shield and to say, I'm coming out here and I'm fighting this battle regardless. And that is the most powerful thing, to go out there like that. And that's why it makes you so much more powerful when you ascend past these lower chakras. You get out of those root chakras. You get out of these physical chakras and you ascend here and you go deeper and you go to the heart chakra. And once you open up the heart chakra and you understand that everything is love and your light, you ascend to these higher vibrations of what we are here for. We are here to connect and to be God in the physical state. So we need to get back to that. But we get back to that by healing. We get back to that by trusting. We get back to that by loving and being the embodiment of what Jesus literally was and what Jesus was teaching us. Jesus was teaching us of our true divinity, of our true power. And he got killed because he was out here teaching us of our true divinity and our true power. So if you disagree with that, that's what you disagree with. This is my opinion. But at the end of the day, like, we are these magical beings who get stuck in these physical things. We get stuck thinking that we're physical when we're magical. And God is living through you. Nourish your temple. Nourish the God within you. Nourish yourself. And stop trying to say that this stuff is fun, because it's not fun no more. And it's hurting you, and it's hurting me to watch as a collective of my people really just hurting each other and hurting themselves. And it's just like you're just in the background just watching the fire, just watching it just go from one part to the next part. Like, you're watching as the fire is just spreading. And that's what I'm doing now. Like, I'm sitting back and I'm watching the fire just spread. And I was like, I can't keep being silent about this. And I don't really care who gets upset about it or who don't like it. But it's like, I can't keep watching the fire because it's not healthy. And I got, something that can help. And it's like, I'm sitting back and I just have to watch it. Sometimes, it just is what it is. But I really want us to start not just talking about trauma, but actually healing from it. Not just using your trauma as a crutch to be the way that you are, but say, because of this is why I'm healing. You owe it to your younger self. You owe it to the versions of you that got hurt, that got damaged, that got neglected, that got devalued, that didn't get love, that didn't get respected. You owe it to that version of you, and you owe it to your version now to show up in your highest form. Anytime that you do something, think, what would my higher self think? What would my higher self want to do right now? Honor your body, honor your spirit, and nourish your mind, body, spirit connection. Nourish yourself back to your divinity. And that is this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.